What is up? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. A lot to talk about today. Make sure you guys hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Before we get into anything, make sure you do that. Alright, because we got a lot to talk about, a lot of accurate information, and a lot of good plays, man. This drop that we just had, man, you kind of need it. You know, if you're in longer term contracts, regardless, you should just stay patient. But you should also be trading around your position, you know? So I think that's what we're going to be talking about today. Obviously, I don't think this is the bottom per se. But we will be talking about it. We got ARK, NVDA, Tesla. We'll look at all of them. Do not worry. Do not worry. We will be looking at all of that, okay? Let's make sure we like this. And yeah, man, I'm excited for this next week because we don't have FOMC, we don't have CPI, we really don't have anything, you know, besides some earnings, but nothing as big as what we've had previously, you know, the past couple weeks. We got Home Depot, you know, C Limited, which I'm very interested in. I think C is cheap right now. SE, that is a very cheap stock. Home Depot, Kava, TJX, JD, Zim, Target, Walmart, you know, retail stocks. Billy, interested in Billy. FOMC minutes isn't really that big of a factor. But yeah, I guess we do have FOMC minutes. One thing I am paying attention to right now, first of all, you got to realize at this level right here, it'd be very irresponsible to short it. Like, it'd be very irresponsible for you to short it right here, considering, you know, what's been happening. So I'm anticipating, you know, first of all, let's just see what we said last week. You know, I always like starting these live streams. I like starting these live streams off. But like, let's see what we said last week about the Qs. Like, just to make sure, not, you know, it doesn't matter if we're right or wrong. I just kind of wanted to see what did we. What the heck? Why did that just go loud as possible?
Some people aren't even thinking to position themselves for the next huge run-up that's going to happen. But don't worry, we're going to talk about it, we're going to discuss it, and with all these pullbacks, man, we're getting some excellent opportunities, especially like if you want to
look at the Qs.
Apple, look at Microsoft. We're really going to look at a lot more this live stream, I think, because there's so much opportunity now that there is.
So I said I'm definitely deep in puts.
Now that there's some fear coming into the market.
Okay.
This is where the bulls strive. This is where you have to.
So it was at 372 when we were talking about it. Now it's at 366. I kind of want to see what did I say though? Like what?
Like you went from the live stream. I was talking about it needs to break above.
There we go.
It needs to break above this area right here.
Yeah.
We never got to break above.
It never got to break above.
We never got to break above. And I actually want to pull that up because that's exactly what we did.
And then it was at this bounce area right here. So very interesting setup what we have right here. It did get that little bounce, you know, that from this demand level. So supply and demand is really important. For me personally, if I'm looking at the Qs, there's no way I'd be looking to short it right here. Especially and the reason I'm saying that is because I kind of already took a peek at some of the stocks that we've been looking at, you know, Apple and Microsoft and a bunch of bigger cap stocks. And the reason I'm saying we might get a nice bounce. Now, I don't think this is the bottom. I don't think we're going to V-shape recover by any means. Will we get to all-time highs? Absolutely. But what's been happening when we get these, you know, all-time highs, it kind of reminds me of what we had right here. And this whole entire consolidation took you around 38 days. It took you around 38 days for it to complete and for you to finally make a new leg higher. I'm anticipating for something like this to happen where we do get a nice little squeeze to the upside, but ultimately it ends up in making a new leg down. And that'll ultimately lead us to the bottom, in my opinion. Now, I'm not trying to bottom to, you know, there's no such thing as trying to being perfect and find the bottom or being perfect and find the top. We could just use levels. But what I'm seeing with the big caps and the Qs overall is I'm anticipating a slight little bounce to the upside. I think we get to around 380 on the Qs. And then once we get there, you know, we'll obviously take that next leg lower. Maybe not even 380, maybe around 377. But I'm anticipating some sort of dead cat bounce this week, man. That's the main thing I'm trying to focus on. Now, I'm not going into this week having bias by any means. So, you know, levels do have to play out. Do not get it confused. The levels do have to play out. But I'm anticipating us to, bounce to 377, get a little relief rally, get some more bulls excited. I think it's going to be a bull trap. I'm just be honest with you. And then make that next leg lower. And then by then, September or August will be over. September will be here, and we'll be talking. And, people think September is going to be a very bearish month. I just don't agree. I think it's going to be very bullish. But that's what I'm forecasting. That's what I believe is going to happen. I think we do get this bounce to the upside, and then, ultimately make that next leg down, and then, back to all-time highs, back to the regular scheduled program. But if we look at the length of time, like another thing that I'm very interested in, like if we look at the length of time, and like even if we look at the daily candle, like even when we were at this level last time, we literally went from 365 all the way to 387, the new high of the year. So, some sort of relief, if not, if not, and this level does dump, we will get to we're going to dump pretty fast. If we break 365, okay? So just so we don't have bias on here, because right now, obviously in the bigger picture, we're going to go up, okay? September, October, November, December, we're going to go up. I just want to make sure you guys are trading around your positions correctly and hedging and, making money if it's going down, if you don't have that much patience, if you're in January calls or, December, etc. But if we do break below 365, this will get to, this is going to get to 360 and etc. But I anticipate some sort of relief rally. That's the main thing I'm paying attention to. And then if we look at this consolidation period, first of all, it looks exactly like the previous one we had, back in March when everybody was saying the market was bearish. Some of you guys remember. And the same thing is kind of popping out right now. A lot of people think this is the top, and you're going to get cooked. You're going to get cooked if you think this is the top. I think TradingView moved around a lot of their settings. But if we come right here from the top to where we are now, this is only a 23-day period. So from where we made the all-time highs to right now, it's only been 23 days. We've been 23-day consolidation, pullback. The market's correcting. This is a very healthy pullback. And if you do the same thing right here, this one took 39 days. So that's kind of where I'm predicting us to be around. I'm predicting somewhere around 30, 35 days until we get a real reversal. I don't think this is going to be a real reversal. I think, we're going to get some short-term squeeze and then, back to a new leg down. And I think we're going to make a lot of money on that. I really do. But another thing, we got to check out the fear and greed index. We're coming back down. This is what you love to see. I'm telling you right now. This is what you love to see, especially if you know the market is going to go up like we do, like we've been talking about all year, like we've been talking about since January, December. We know the market is going to continue to go to all-time highs, and you need these sort of pullbacks. I mean, this was literally at an all-time low. This was at 0.67. And now you have it coming. You love to see this. This means people are getting into puts. People are becoming liquidity. Okay, we need liquidity in the market. If everybody's bullish, come on now. What do you think is gonna happen? Nothing really. So you need this to happen. You love to see it. And yeah, I anticipate us to get a little squeeze to the upside, and then back to a new low, and then we'll probably finally make the new all-time high. And let's just see. Yeah, this should take you to like late August. I'm not anticipating the market to fully get its legs underneath until late August, okay? Late August is when the market, in my opinion, will start going crazy again. And people really don't think the market is going to continue to go up. Somebody just said, why do you think market will go up? I really disagree. And that's fine. Like, you can come in here and disagree. You can have your opinions. I actually like when you guys do that. Have your disagreements. It's what it is. But I'm just letting you know, come on, man. Don't be confused. Like, just look at the monthly. Like, if we come over here and look at the monthly, do you really think this is just going to stop right here and go? You really think that? Like, what's changed in the economy? Nothing. The job market's very strong. Inflation's coming down. Like, some of you guys need to really look at what's happening inside of the economy. Okay, so yes, we're getting this pullback. This is exactly what bulls need for the next fuel. This is jet fuel, okay? This is jet fuel. But I'm anticipating us to, get a squeeze to the upside and then come back down. So now that we talked about what's happening with this week and what's happening overall, the main reason why I said that is because if you look at the apples of the world, right? If you look at Apple, this thing is an amazing bounce area, okay? It's literally an amazing bounce area that you see right here. 178. This is where we usually get a bounce. This is where I'm anticipating us to get a bounce. You come over here, you draw the fibs. I'm not going to do it, but this is where Apple bounces. This is a good bounce area for Apple. And if you guys know anything about Apple, this is the most weighted stock inside of most of these indexes that we talk about, okay? But as you guys know, if you don't want to be biased, we could come below here, if it ever breaks below 176, really 175, because it could get a little liquidity grab. So I wouldn't really fall for the initial little fall that you get right here, because it could, you're gonna end up being liquidity. But yeah, we're in bounce areas for Apple. We're in bounce areas for Microsoft as well. Like if you look at Microsoft, man, like Microsoft is really Microsoft is in a bounce area. It's in this rising wedge, or this falling wedge that's getting really tight. If you guys know Microsoft, this thing is literally makes up a large percentage of the indexes as well. So I'm telling you, I think a bounce is really ready to come. And if not, this is good risk to reward regardless. Like if you're bullish right here, it's good risk to reward, versus if you're bearish, there's a lot of, it's been falling for a while now. Like this isn't new. It's been falling since July 18th. You guys know this, right? Like we've been having a pullback since July 18th. Yeah, July 18th, almost an entire month. So if you're bearish right now, you're a late bear. You're late. So just put that into your mind. You're a very late bull. I mean a late bear versus you were a late bull. If you're getting in over here, etc. But anyways, let's move on. Breakout coming soon. Has bullish trend, cup and handle, and bull flag. God dang, got everything, huh? All right. Let's move on. We got some new people in here today. Somebody said, why don't you just use bots? What? What? But yeah, I'm anticipating a pump to the upside. That was my analysis for the Qs and SPY, etc. Okay, that's what I think is going to happen in the market. Now, am I 100% correct all the time, man? No. But I would give myself at least 80%, 80 to 85%, especially if you look back at our past videos on our YouTube. Okay, I want to make sure you guys are all following the YouTube and the Twitter. We post all of our videos on here. This dates back to like 5 months ago when we were saying the stock market is squeezed. Pullback almost complete at SPY and the Qs. This is back in February, okay? So there's great information that's happening 5 months ago, preparing for SPY. Like, you understand? So if you follow this channel, you're able to front run the majority of people. We got good information on here. Make sure you're also following the Twitter, etc. Okay? Everything is linked in the bio. All right, everything's linked in the bio. But let's move on. My boy Canadian is in here. That's my guy. Somebody said PayPal. Okay, you want to get into PayPal? You really like PayPal? Me personally, man, I don't like PayPal at all. There's just some companies that might not do very well inside of a bull market. The stocks that have been doing this, like that have not been doing anything this entire year, but it stayed in their downtrend, I would remain wary of them. I wouldn't remain until this can. Okay, now if you get a bottoming out next week and you get something like this, then yeah, okay, a new trend is formed. This could possibly be an uptrend. But me personally, I just don't think this. This is not a stock that I'm focused on. This is not a stock that I want to put my money into. This is not a stock that I just don't think it's. I don't think it's that good, bro. So I'm not gonna go over this one too much. Now, is this a good buying area? Like, if you believe in PayPal, is this a good buying area? I would say sure. Like, I would definitely take the risk right here. But for some stocks, I think there's better opportunities out there. For PayPal, I would leave it alone. It's not following what the market is doing overall. Like, if you look at a lot of these stocks, it's just easy. It's just easy. A lot of these stocks, they're in an uptrend. They're going up. You can catch bounces. You can catch a lot of stuff. PayPal's unpredictable right now, and I just don't like it. I don't even really want to talk about it. So, I'm sorry, bro, but that's just what I think about PayPal. Now, I do think, I don't know. Let's look at ARK. Let's look at ARK, because some of you guys, man, this is where the real bulls are made. Some of you guys think the real bulls are made when the market is going up. Some people think you're supposed to be bullish when it's doing this, but the real time to be bullish is when you're getting these amazing entries off of these pullbacks, or you just don't care and you're buying, 20 2024 June calls, and you're just sitting on them and trading around your position, which I think is a smart move as well. So it doesn't really matter. $50 is a discount. $46 is a discount. $40. So it doesn't matter where you're picking it up inside of here if you're looking to get longer term contracts. But some of you guys can't afford that, and I just want you to know, do not be bullish on ARK, especially right now. I mean, do not be bearish on ARK, especially right now. Okay? This is the new NASDAQ. Like, this is literally the new NASDAQ, and you're getting it at $42 a piece where everybody hates it. This is like picking up the Qs back in 2000 when people didn't like tech. When people thought tech was a bubble. When people thought the internet was a bubble. That's the equivalent of picking up ARK right now, in my opinion. I think that's the equivalent. If you look at what happened with the Qs back in 2000, 1999. This is 1999. April 1999. A lot of people thought the internet was a bubble. The Qs went from $50 to $117 just to dump back to $20. Okay? And now you look at the Qs, it's at 366. Now for me personally, I like ARK equity a whole lot more than I like any option opportunity, just because you're buying ARK at cheap. You're literally buying it for pennies when you think about it in a 10-year span. So this is just an equity play. I think if you're looking to build a portfolio, which all of you guys should, don't trade. Look, if you don't have a portfolio with stocks that you like, that you've been purchasing equity on a weekly or monthly or bi-monthly basis, don't even look at options. Don't even look at options. Don't even look at options. Some of you guys I don't even have enough. I don't even have enough money. I only have $100. Then you shouldn't get a job. Build a portfolio. Build up something to where in 30 years you look back and be like, God, I was buying ARK at $40. It's sitting at $4,000. Some of you guys like $4,000. No, this thing can really get to $4,000. Anyways. ARK right here, if you're looking at options, I think this is a good bounce area for it, especially if you're looking to get further out contracts, which you should, because we're in a bull market. You're getting ARK at an extreme discount. This thing just ran up to $52 not too long ago. Don't get hindsight. Okay, hindsight's actually gonna be 2020 when we see this at 60 plus very soon. So I like ARK a whole lot. I think it actually gets a bounce this week because I think the majority of the market is due for a dead cat bounce, and you're getting a lot of bullish divergence, etc. So I think you do get a bounce. I think you do get a bounce to around this level, back to 46, and then it'll most likely make a new leg lower. But does that mean this is not the time to dollar cost average or get in? This could, you understand, this might not just make a next leg lower. So are you really going to miss out? This is $40, which is the bottom of the channel. Let me just put this into perspective for you, okay? We had this channel drawn up back in May. I was begging you to buy. You can go on my YouTube. You can look at the YouTube videos. I was begging you to buy in March. Okay? It was $35. It went all the way up to $52, which is the top of the channel. And now you get it at $42, and the bottom of the channel is only $40. Not even. It's like $41. You're getting it at a discount right here. It's in a buy area. Last time it was here, it went all the way from 41 to 52. Okay, so now if we're talking about weekly buy on or 2 weeks out, then it's kind of a little bit more unpredictable. But if we're talking about 5 months out, 6 months out, this is some of the easiest bread. Equity. This is some of the freest bread you can get. So I like ARK a whole lot. There's nothing has changed. My opinion has not changed. I still think we get to 60 plus. Okay? I still think we get to 60 plus. If I was to give you a date range, I would say by the end of October. By the end of October, I believe ARK, I know ARK is going to be at $60, okay? So, that's what I'll be looking at. Look, if you're looking at 2020, and we talked about this, the December 19th, 2025 contracts, I think you get the 50 strike price for like $700 a piece. You're basically robbing the market. You're going in the stock market's bank. You're taking out some money. Now you can't spend it yet. You gotta be a little bit more patient. You can't spend it yet, okay? But you took their money and you're putting it in your closet. You put a whole lump sum of money in your closet that you can't come back to in 5 months. But you best believe that money is going to double. You just can't come back. You just can't, you just can't mess with it. But you're robbing the stock market. That, to me, I think that's a bargain. Somebody said bulls will get wrecked by the end of this year. I just don't agree. But I love. Look, a couple weeks ago, like July, mid-July, no one was bearish. So now that we're getting more bulls in the market, more bears in the market, this is perfect because the real OGs know, the people that actually study the market, the people actually that know what's going on, they know the market's going to go up. And these pullbacks are just amazing entries. But let's look at Tesla. Exactly. Bulls are supposed to get wrecked this entire year, but somehow didn't. Bears are getting excited because their portfolio isn't at negative 99% anymore. It's at negative 97%. So they're getting very motivation. Like, they're feeling themselves right now. It's not negative 99%. It's negative 97%. And, they're feeling good. But it's going to continue to be negative 99%. And I'm telling you right now, do not be a bear, bro. Please don't. There's nothing even bearish that's happening right now. You realize that, right? Inflation was transitory. It spiked up and spiked all the way back down. And that was the main argument. All right, anyways. If we look at Tesla, man, I lost money on Tesla at like 260, 265-ish. I lost money. It reversed. Lost some money on Tesla. I still think Tesla's going to get to $300. I still think Tesla's very bullish. Now, like I said, I'm anticipating a slight little bounce to the upside for a lot of these stocks, including Tesla. So I want to see it. If I'm looking at Tesla, first of all, I do think it's going to retest this $200, $15 level. And then once it retests that, we'll finally get that move to all-time highs. Okay? So if you're in equity, I would hold my equity. If I was looking to enter into position for Tesla, I would definitely enter into it, right? Like, I would dollar cost average in at this perfect spot. Like, you're getting a pullback from $300. I would enter in if I was starting an equity position. If you're looking at options, it's a little bit more tricky because the timing, you got to make sure you're timing it a bit correctly. So for Tesla, if I'm looking at it, I'm looking to be very nimble on it. I'm not looking to, go too crazy. I'm not looking to get 2 weeks out. I'm being a little bit more nimble. I'm looking to just day trade it. So if I'm looking to just day trade it, I would look for only if Tesla gets back to 240. The reason I'm saying that is because I know there's better opportunities inside the market, and I know I'm not trying to buy it at a premium. I'm not trying to buy it after it went from 238 to 243. I'm trying to get it on this slight little discount at 240, and then hopefully we get a run up. That's the only time I'm only going to be looking at calls right here because the risk to reward is good as well. 240, 240.40, 240, 50, in the 240. It has to be a zero right here. I don't care what the sense is saying. As long as it's a 240, I'd be looking to catch a bounce on Tesla. Okay, this thing is over. Like, come on, man. If you look at the daily, this is a very bullish daily candle as well. Where did my volume go? Why is this? Where did my volume go? Let me turn back on my volume. But yeah, I like Tesla for a bounce at 240, okay? I'm not looking to short it. I'm not looking to really short this week. Unless I'm trading around my position, but shorting this week is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of crazy in my opinion. But yeah, that's what I think about Tesla. Do not get confused though. This is gonna, if it ever gets here, man, you're getting if you ever get Tesla at 215, 210 around there, you're getting a blessing, okay? But yeah, this is definitely a bounce area. If it slides below 240, you know what to do. But this is a bounce area, man. Like, I'd be very confused in a bull market. Like, this is a bull market. I'd be very confused if this doesn't get some sort of bull. Like, I think it's going to be a bull chart. I don't think you get a V shape. But I think you do get some sort of, up and then back down to the new leg. Okay? That's what I'd be looking for. Last time it was here at 240, it went all the way to 300. Okay, this is gonna get some sort of relief bounce. Okay, I'd be very, very surprised if not, and I would say that on the next Sunday stream. I would be very, very surprised if this doesn't get some sort of, some. Let's just see where it could possibly go. It's telling me that's gonna get to 276, man. 276. That's just what it's telling me, man. That's what it's telling me. And the reason that makes some sense is because that'll make a head and shoulders. That'll make that nice little head and shoulders. But we'll see. We will see. Let's move on. Ford, AMD. I love you guys coming in here, saying tickers, and because at the end of the day, what you guys got to realize, at the end of the day, we're building a watch list. So the people in here, you don't have to think everything that I'm saying is correct. But some of these stocks, like, you guys haven't heard of them. So it puts other stocks on your radar that you may see something in this that I didn't see, that you like more than me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'd be, you don't have to take my word for it. Find some stocks that you like and go from there. But for AMD, my price target on this is to $100. Now that I'm looking at it more, I think it is going to get to $100. I do think it's going to get to $100 because I don't think this is going to V-shape right here and go crazy. I think there's still a little bit more bears in the market. I still think this needs to retrace a bit more. I think this needs to get at least above 1. Right now it's sitting at 0.88, which is still more calls in the market than puts. But once we get something like this is where we definitely are going to be looking at puts. But I mean, for calls. But that's a story for a different day. If we look at AMD right now, I'm anticipating some sort of relief bounce right here, especially now. If we look at the candles, it does look sort of bearish, which we knew. Like, we knew this was like everybody in the Discord, everybody in the live streams that watch this, they know I'm not. They know WOM isn't particularly bullish on AMD just yet. Now we do know this is going to get to all-time highs. We do know this is going to eventually break out of this consolidation, this flag that you see right here, and get to around 150. We do know that. That's going to happen. But if you're looking at options, options is tricky. Options is tricky because you got to get the timing right if you're not buying, 5-6 months out. But if you look at AMD, I think you do get some sort of relief bounce right here, especially now that it's came to this zone. It usually bounces at this level. Okay? If this does not bounce at this level, this is going straight to 100, which is the price target to the downside where I would be going heavy. Okay? Because AI is not done. AI is not done by any means. You're just getting a little pullback inside the market. This happens. It's a market. So if we ever get to 100, that's a good time for you to load up. But I do think you get some sort of relief bounce right here. This is looking very bearish. I think this is going to be a fake out. Just based off what we saw. We saw the cues. We saw SPY. We saw how we closed. We saw how we closed on Friday. You guys saw that, right? That wasn't bearish. That was, we don't want to sit it up just yet because we want to wait until Monday. We want to wait until next week. Okay, so that's what I'm anticipating. I do think you get a slight little bounce on AMD, probably like here, but short the pop. Short the pop. When we get this pop that we're going to have, I don't think this is going to be a V-shape. And when I'm saying this, when I'm telling you guys this, you got to make sure you're hedged on both sides, and you got to make sure you do already have your long term. So even if it does V-shape, even if it does come up here, it doesn't stop and it keeps going. You all right, now just adjust your positions. You already have your long term swing set up. You already have your equity, so it doesn't really matter if it continues to go up. Okay. But yeah, I think a bounce is gonna happen right here, and I think the bounce could possibly take you back to. It could possibly take you back to 118. Yeah, it could possibly take you back to 118. 118. But I would be looking to short this all the way back down to 100 if it does break below 106. 106, this is going to 100 fast. Okay? And that's the thing for a lot of these stocks. That's the thing for a lot of these stocks. If it does break this level, Because what you got to realize, a lot of these stocks are at amazing bounce areas. We saw Apple, we saw Microsoft, we saw the Qs, we saw, the big stocks inside that make up these indexes. If they don't bounce right here, this thing is just going to slide. But a bounce is definitely coming, okay? The storm is brewing. People are like, yeah, like we're getting a discount finally. Some of you guys, look, what I'm telling you right now, do not be greedy and think the Qs is getting back down to 320. Don't do that, bro. Some people really think this is about to get down to 320. If this gets to 320, we're going to make a new low for the year. We're going to make a new low for the year, and I don't think that's going to happen, especially if you just go outside and you see the consumer. If you actually go outside, some of you guys don't go outside enough. That's why you think the market is bearish. That's why you're all doomsday, because you don't go outside enough. If you actually go outside and you go look at what the consumer is doing, they have money, bro. They have money. They have money. And a lot of people missed this rally right here. So why I'm telling you to be, dang, it's raining hard out here. I love it. Man, this is such a vibe. We got a vibe tonight, man. Some of you guys hear the rain? You guys hear the rain? Man, it's a vibe tonight. But what I was saying is, you don't want to be greedy on this entry. There's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines because a lot of people missed. And the reason I'm saying this is because I know a lot of people missed the rally. Like, if you're listening to WAM, there's no reason why you should have missed the rally. But some of you guys missed the rally. You missed this entire thing from 260 all the way to 380. And you're hoping that we get back down to 320 so you can just get in the middle of the rally. And I'm telling you right now that that's not how the market works. They already left you behind. The smart money already left you behind. They're not trying to give the retailers and the people that don't really know what's going on a better entry. Come on now, what do you think the market does over time? Let me just zoom out. Let me just zoom out really quick so you can actually see what's been happening for 20 plus years. Okay? Anyways, let's move on. He says, show the raindrops. Consumer putting, yeah, look at show the raindrops. Why do you guys want to see the raindrops? Nah. All right, let's look at RIOT. Let's look at RIOT. Oh my Lord! Look, man. If you're not paying attention, to the stream right now, you cooking lunch. Pay attention right now. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys on. I'm gonna give you free money, free bread. This is the freest bread you're gonna get all year. Well, if you missed out on it, if you missed out on this entire year, this is the freest bread you're gonna get up to this point. And we already said this back when it was $10. So if you didn't listen when it was $10 and it went all the way to $20, now is the time for you to be listening again because it's giving you another opportunity. Okay? Now I don't know why. It's giving you another opportunity, but it is. Okay? RIOT is one that you just need to either buy some equity on or get some 2024 calls. June 2024 calls, and just relax, go sit on them. Because what you're getting right now is a pullback that we've been seeing this entire run, all the way since January. Let me show you something. All the way since January, you've been getting the same exact pullback, okay? So I'm telling you right now, there's absolutely no way you should be bearish on RIOT. Now, I would be waiting for $13, like $13.80, because we're already in RIOT. We already made 200%. We're already up 100%, etc. Okay? So I'm gonna be waiting for $13.80. If we don't get that, I don't care. I'm already in. I'm already up. We were talking about this at $9, $10. So if I'm looking at RIOT, the freest bread you can get all year is June 2024 contracts. Hey man, I'm telling you. If we just zoom out. Bitcoin hasn't even started going, okay? Bitcoin hasn't even started going. If we just zoom out, what you're getting is the potential of this getting to around $1,000, $500, $400, and it's sitting at $15. And some of you guys might think that sounds crazy, but this is only $2.8 billion. Bitcoin is projected to not only 10x from here, but get to a million. RIOT owns a lot of big. Okay, man. Let me just stop. This is free bread. A bounce is coming. I like 1380, but this is not a bad time to start a position. Okay, and I'm anticipating some sort of bounce this week regardless. So you should get a bounce back to around, you know, probably $18 or something. But this is the freest bread you get all year. I absolutely love Riot. One that I like even more is MSTR, and I don't really like not wasting because this is helping a lot of people. I just know it because this is information that people don't know. A lot of people, you know, just don't know where to put their money. I've been telling you where to put your money all year. Not a financial advisor, you know. Not a financial advisor. Where I'm putting my money, you know what I'm saying? Where I'm putting my money all year. But even MSTR, we talked about this back when it was $270. No, when it was $215 is when we talked about it. When I posted it on Discord to buy it, I said in the investing channel, buying it. I'm buying it. I'm buying ARK right here back in March. Went from 215 to 460, and I'm letting you know Bitcoin didn't even move. Bitcoin really didn't even move. It just kind of, you know, it didn't really move. It didn't really move. If you know Bitcoin, it didn't really move. Okay, it went from 22,000 to 30,000. It didn't really move. So what you have with MSTR is another bargain buy. Okay, this is like, even if we look at the chart, it came to the perfect buying area, bounced, and now it's forming something even more bullish than Riot. And I absolutely love these stocks, man. MSTR, Riot, there's something you have to have in your portfolio. It even helps with the diversity of it. Like if you're diversifying your portfolio, you want to be exposed to some crypto, even if you're skeptical of it. Because people were skeptical of the internet. People were skeptical of the NASDAQ. Even though they weren't really skeptical, they were tricking you to be skeptical about it because they wanted better prices. That's the truth of it. But, you know, some of you guys aren't ready to hear that. I wouldn't even look at strike prices for MSTR. We already looked at NVDA. We already looked at Tesla. Let's look at NVIDIA though. Oh my god dang. God dang. Now we did have the flag. We knew this was gonna end up making its measure move from this flag that we had right here because it fell out of its channel. That's bearish. Okay, this channel held up since June, and you know it fell out. It retested it. We talked about that a whole bunch, and now you see it just flushing. But there's hope. There's hope. I'm gonna tell you why there's hope. I'm gonna tell you why there's hope. I'm gonna tell you why there's hope. Because if we just looked at the market, and a lot of this stuff is shouting that we will bounce. We will bounce. Now, what you have right here is we're in another demand level, okay? We're in another demand level. So right here is where we went from where we are right now, 408, and we went back to 430. So if we don't get a bounce right here, this thing's flushing back down to 380. So if I'm looking at NVIDIA right now, I want to see what it does at 404, okay? 404, 403, etc. Because I think we're going to get that bounce back to 430, or at least back to this supply or demand turn supply. Okay, so shorting right here, what I'm saying is shorting right here is irresponsible. Instead, I would be looking for some sort of entry for a bounce, because the risk to reward is there. Versus if you're looking at puts, you're late. It went from 450 to 407. You're late. You're late. Now, does that mean it's going to stop dumping? Who knows? But what I do know is I'm not trying to get in on puts when somebody is already up 300% and they're selling me their put You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that person, okay? So it's often better to buy at supports than to short supports, or to short resistances versus buy resistances, okay? Anyways. Can you look at crowd? I definitely want to look at crowd. And some of you guys, just tuned into the live stream when we were talking about crowd back when it was 160, 165, and you're like, man, this dude does not know what he's talking about. It's at 145 now. Okay? The best times to buy is when people are fearful. The best times not to buy is when people are greedy. Okay? People are getting greedy. You know, July, man, some of you guys don't remember July. And it just happened last month, like not even that long ago. That shows you how quickly the narrative can change. Just like we saw in December from January to March, from March to July, narratives change a lot. People end up forgetting what previously happened because they're so locked up in what's happening in the now, okay? So with crowd, what you have to realize is that this is going to make all-time highs, okay? This, to me, is at a good bouncing spot just because I know the market's going to end up bouncing. I know the market's going to end up bouncing. The only thing is that will that be the final bounce, or is there a next leg lower? Me personally, I think there's going to be a next leg lower, and then that'll probably end up marking the bottom. But you don't want to get too, you don't want to get too greedy. Too greedy. So if I was looking at crowd, sure, some people can say this is a bear flag. I'm going to tell you that this is not a bear flag, and this is actually going to pump back to around 158, okay? My bad, Twitch. I'm so sorry, Twitch. I'm so sorry, Twitch. I'm just now looking at the Twitch chat. Somebody said look at Tesla, my boy Horn. We already looked at Tesla. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We looked at Tesla, but the YouTube will be posted. Everything will be posted on the Twitter regardless. Bro, this is where the Apple run comes. I absolutely 110% agree. But some people think this is a bear flag, okay? I'm telling you right now, if you know anything about crowd, as soon as the market turns back around, you know, we've been getting some bullish pullback, you know, for, you know, when crowd just got its legs from underneath it, you know, back in July. It ran all the way from, you know, 140 to 160. It got its legs under it because the market was so bullish. But what you're getting now is a market-wide pullback, which it's healthy, a correction. This is what you get inside of a bull market. But I'm telling you right now, crowd is one of the strongest in the market that hasn't started running. You're gonna need cybersecurity as AI continues to develop. I know you guys have seen some of these videos that have been created through AI and you know what I'm like? I literally saw Andrew Tate rapping a song and it looked like he actually did it. Like if I didn't know any better and I was just looking at it for the first time, I would have actually believed he made a rap video. So this stuff is gonna continue to get crazier and crazier and crazier and better and develop more. And you're gonna need cybersecurity. You're gonna need some security against what's actually happening. And what better than CrowdStrike, especially when you have its big brother, Pan W, Palo Alto, already at all-time highs. This thing already zipped up, and if you guys know anything about Pan W, then you should know about Crowd. Crowd is his little brother, and it's not at all-time highs yet, but in fact, it's consolidating on a pullback. You have to love it at this, even like equity, okay? Now, some people might think this is a bear flag. To me, this is gonna boost out and go back to 158, and then we'll probably get that last leg lower, okay? Do not get faked out, bro. This is not a, do not be a fool, okay? And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, it looks like a bear flag. Yeah, it looks okay. Like, yeah, I understand. Like, some people come in here, draw a bear flag and be like, yeah, this is a bear flag. It's gonna go down. You know, the measure move, we can come in here, draw the measure move. You know, yeah, it's going to get back down to 135. Now, is that possible? Is that a scenario that could play out? Man, absolutely. I'm not claiming to be some sort of wizard and know it all. You know, this bear flag could play out. But if it ever does, and it does get down to 135, man, come on, man. Load the boat. Load the boat. And I actually do think it gets to 135 just after it gets this squeeze to the upside, 158, okay? But, yeah, if I'm looking at crowd, I think this is going to continue to the upside. It looks bullish to me. And there's absolutely no way I would be looking to short it until, let me show you, until, you know, there's always an until it can break back below 144, okay? Over here, I'd be looking for calls all day. Calls. But yeah, that's what I think's about to happen. But of course, I want this at 135, okay? Of course. That's the perfect retracement. It'll sweep all the supports, and I do think it's going to get there. Because like I said, I think by late August, starting of September is where the market actually turns back completely bullish. But we'll have to see, you know. But yeah, that's what I think about crowd. That's what I think is going to happen. And yeah, let's move on. Somebody said SPY tomorrow 440. God dang. So I said I'm the most smooth talk, man. What the heck? He said smooth. He said I'm a snake oil salesman. That's crazy. Why are you hating, bro? What platform is best for purchases? Thinkorswim, Webull. I mean, there's a lot, man. Just literally. TDOC. All right, let's look at TDOC. There's a lot of platforms, man. Google will help you a whole lot. All right, for TDOC, this stock is playing around. But what you have to realize is that this is a bullish stock that just got caught in some bearish momentum. I did think it was going to bounce at this $25 level. It didn't bounce. It broke down. You know, the market's bearish. The market's bearish. And that's what's been happening. You know, you're getting some profit taking. But nothing has changed for what I believe is going to happen with TDOC. Literally nothing. Literally nothing has changed. I actually think TDOC is going to get a nice little bounce this week. Okay? So if I'm looking at TDOC, there's no way I'd be looking to short it now. Like, you already missed the big short. To me, it's retesting the breakout like it did over here. And, you know, blast it back up to 26. I think you're getting that exact same thing. Now, this is an ugly chart, and the only way I'd be looking at getting a TDOC is if I'm getting some far out contracts, okay? But if you look at what happened with the volume, okay, this thing is not just about to fall back down and go back to where people think it would. You know, like, that's not going to happen. I think TeleDoc and this movement is going to continue to rapidly expand and get better. But yeah, I think there's no way I would short it after. There's no way. But I definitely want to come back to this one. I'm still very bullish on it. I still think it gets to $40 plus, and that's just on the minimum end. This can really make some crazy numbers, but that's what I think. This isn't one that I'm particularly interested in as much, but this is bullish. Anyways, let's move on. Goldman Sachs. Okay, this is how we're gonna end this stream. I've been live for 50 minutes. We're going to look at the Dow Jones stocks, and we're going to look at the Hang Seng. Why? Because I think what's happening, you're getting, look, remember what was happening with the Dow Jones while the Qs and the S&P 500 was running up? This thing was just sitting here consolidating, the Dow Jones. And now you're getting a huge breakout from a year-long breakout. You think it's just going to stop right here? No. It made its measure move, which we talked about like 3 weeks ago. We talked about this 3 weeks ago. Yes, we did. We talked about this literally July 10th. Like, you understand that, right? Some of you guys just forget. But we knew this was going to break out. We called it. We were able to catch Home Depot, UNH, okay? Visa, Boeing. We caught Boeing. This is going to continue to all-time highs, okay? And the reason I say that is because you look at a lot of these stocks that are actually inside of. First of all, let's make sure we follow the Twitter, because what I'm about to give you guys is amazing information. The link is in the bio. The link is in the bio. Billy, I absolutely love Billy. It has earnings this week. It pulled back. It's an amazing entry. Hang Seng looks good. We'll look at Futu as well. Let's just make sure we're following the Twitter. Everything is linked in the bio. We always look. What I'm telling you guys today, we posted this on the Twitter, I think Thursday. A bounce is coming. A bounce is a brewing. Okay, so make sure we're following the Twitter. The link is in the bio. I absolutely love you guys for following the Twitter, because we started at like 700, or I don't know where we started this year, but we just started Twitter like last year, maybe in like November, October, and we're already at 2,000. So appreciate you guys. Let's continue to follow it. We always post our best ideas on here. We don't sit in here and post spam you. That's just not what WAM is about. We don't spam you. There's live classes that we update you about. There's a whole lot that happens on here, okay? So make sure you're following the Twitter, the Instagram, inside the Discord, etc., because what I'm about to tell you guys is excellent information that I think is going to make you guys a whole lot of money, okay? So make sure you're following the Twitter. The link is in the bio. I'm not going to start until we at least get 3 people, by the way. Where we talking about it? Where is? Make sure to follow the Twitter. Follow the Twitter, and we'll move on. Nicola, Baba, bro. Relax. All right. Follow the Twitter. Follow the Twitter. Follow the Twitter. Join the Discord. We're gonna be having a giveaway soon. You wanna make sure you're following the Twitter so you're able to get in on the giveaway. Okay, some good giveaways coming up. We already looked at Tesla. But if you follow the Twitter, if you follow the YouTube, you'll be able to see. Like, look at what we do on the YouTube. Okay? Since 5 months ago, we've been talking about the stock market squeeze, okay? And really, it dates back more than 5 months. I just really started posting on YouTube, back 5 months ago. We were talking about in December. Stock market squeeze, stock market squeeze, stock market squeeze, squeeze. Bro, for 5 months, we still think the stock market's going to squeeze, okay? It's not over. But if you missed anything, we post the recaps on YouTube, okay? Anyways, for UNH, okay, the Dow Jones, if you don't know the Dow Jones is an index that holds a bunch of stocks. UNH just so happens to be at the top of that list, okay? And if you come over here and look at UNH, what do you see? What do you see? You see some very, very bullishness taking place with UNH, okay? It closed inside of its wick. This thing to me looks like it's ready to finally break out. I don't even think you're gonna get a nice little pullback. Like, sure, you could be greedy and wait for 493, etc. Of course you could, but me personally, I don't think you're gonna get that. To me, this looks like it's ready to already break out, especially if you look at the Dow Jones and with the information that we talked about at the beginning of this live stream with the market potentially bouncing. Although the Dow Jones doesn't really care what the Qs and SPYs doing. Okay, first of all, that's what you got to realize. The UNH doesn't care what the Qs and SPYs doing. The Dow Jones just doesn't care, like you've been seeing with the consolidation. So UNH looks very good, and possibly this is one of my favorite watches for this upcoming week. Okay, UNH. You come over here and look at Goldman Sachs. Somebody said Goldman Sachs. This is another Dow Jones stock that holds a lot of percentage in the Dow Jones index. And you know what's funny? We talked about this back when it was 317. We were telling you to buy it at 315, 317. We were talking about the Dow Jones as well. We even said Boeing and UNH, and all those have pumped. And I'm letting you know it's not done. When you break out from a year-long consolidation, it doesn't give you just one pump and it's done. Okay, no, that's not what happens. So for the Goldman Sachs, you're getting an excellent pullback. And I'm telling you right now, you want to pay, bro. This looks absolutely amazing. It corrected perfectly. So this is good risk to reward right here. And I like Goldman Sachs more than I like UNH, but you can't go wrong with either one. If you zoom out and just look at this is in a bullish megaphone, and the price target is to around $400. Like, the price target is to all-time highs, okay? So for Goldman Sachs, do not sleep on the Dow Jones stocks, Goldman Sachs in particular, UNH, Boeing. Let's look at Boeing. Sorry, I'm not even looking at what you got. Somebody said, what's your Twitter name? The same name that I have right here, Wealth on Mars. Or you just go link in the bio and click the link in the bio, click on the little bird. But yeah, Goldman Sachs looks absolutely amazing. We even called Boeing. Some of you guys made a whole lot of money on Boeing. I don't think it's done. Okay? When you get these gap ups, like I can show you on multiple instances, where when you get these gap ups for earnings, it doesn't stop right here. It doesn't come back. Like, no, not on these type of stocks. So for Boeing, I actually really, really like it as well for bounce. There's absolutely no, like, look at these buying wicks. The reason I'm saying this is because this is perfect risk to reward. Like, if you got in right here at 235, you would just stop out at 233 and be very, very, like, you understand that, right? But the thing is, I don't even think you're gonna, like, this is just the, like, bro. I think next week is gonna be very, very easy because you're getting these stocks in either a bounce zone, but if they don't bounce, you're getting a sell-off, a flush. It's not like it's sitting here consolidating. It's not like, oh, you gotta be careful if it's doing something like this because you can't really swing. You can't really, you can't really hold that long. The market is reversing up and then back down. But right here, you're going to get a couple days. Man, I think we're going to make a whole lot of money this week, man. I think a whole lot of money is to be made this week, and I'm excited. But Boeing is in a perfect buying area. There's no way I would short it. Yeah. And then the Hang Seng. Let's look at the Hang Seng. Let's look at the Hang Seng. We haven't looked at the Hang Seng in a minute. Let's see what's happening with it. Some of you guys be getting scared. Some of you guys be getting scared. Oh, the Hang Seng is just consolidating. Nothing happening. If it almost broke out, if fake broke out, came back down, the real breakout is gonna come soon, okay? The real breakout will come soon. Nothing really happening with it though. No way I'd be bearish, but nothing really happening. Actually a good buying area, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. It's just in this flag, like, we know it's gonna get to 28K. We know this. We know this, y'all. We know this. Okay? We know this. But anyways, I think I got out the best information. I'm gonna do a little recap. But I think the best information is already out there for you guys to be able to better predict what's gonna happen inside the market, okay? I think I gave you the best. I think I gave you the best I could. I think I gave you the best I could. But we already talked about Microsoft. We talked about Tesla. We talked about a lot of the stocks you guys want to look at. And I think today was more, we just looked at a lot of big caps. Like Google looks good. Google looks good, okay? And the thing about when you, oh my, yo, Amazon. Why didn't we talk about Amazon? Why didn't no one say Amazon? Amazon is very, 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 very interesting. And to me, this is definitely going to get to all-time highs. And what you have to realize is that on these, when a stock gaps up like it did, it rarely ever gives back its full. It rarely ever does that. You've seen it with Microsoft. Microsoft gapped up for earnings and just never returned. NVDA gapped up for earnings, never returned. Google gapped up, never returned. Apple gapped up, actually it gapped down and it just kept falling, okay? But it went to all-time highs, like it went to all-time highs. I'm talking about, this earnings. I'm talking about this earnings, back in Q2. This one, nah, bro. Even Microsoft don't. But for Amazon, they're adding a bunch of things to their product line. Amazon is becoming more than just a spot you go to shop and get your stuff shipped to you in one day. They literally put out news that they're about to enter into the semiconductor space. They're about to start making chips. They're literally about to start making chips. You realize that, bro, this thing is going to continue to go to all-time highs. It looks absolutely amazing. If you look at the weekly, you got a pullback this week. This is a blessing. Okay? Now, Amazon looks absolutely amazing. And everybody that I talk to says that Amazon is building warehouses somewhere where they live. Okay? They're building warehouses. They're making chips. They're the biggest internet retailer in the world. I mean, come on, bro. They're going to lend cash too. Man, Tesla is becoming a conglomerate. And it's only 1.42 trillion. Now, that is a lot. But I think it could be worth more. I think this is going to get to all-time highs. Okay? Now, the measured move out of this flag that you're seeing right now is to around 156, okay? So, Amazon looks absolutely amazing. There's a lot of good stocks out there that we could be looking at. Amazon is particularly looking good for next week because next week is looking bullish. And Amazon literally blew out their earnings. Like, the earnings was absolutely incredible, especially for a stock of this magnitude. Like, do you not understand them getting almost 100%? Like, they surprise beat by almost 100%. They even beat revenue. Oh my God. Amazon about to go stupid. But yeah. Temu looks absolutely amazing. We talked about this when it was $60, and bro, like, you're getting these pullbacks that you got to make sure you're paying attention to. You have to. It made its measure move. PDD looks absolutely, like, if Amazon looks good, PDD looks good as well. This is at a bro. Now PDD, I don't really like it because it doesn't let you trade it on Thinkorswim. You got to go to like Webull or Robinhood. But PDD is in an amazing This looks ready to bounce. It looks ready to bounce. It looks ready to bounce. And even if it does come back down to retest the trend line, which at $73, if it ever does that, man, you're getting a blessing, and it's gonna go to the top of the trend. We've seen this so many times. Like, you guys remember Shopify, right? We were talking about Shopify. I have a TikTok video. If you go to click on my profile, you go to TikTok. We're talking about it at $40. I said it was gonna get to around 60. It went to 60. Same thing I can say for PDD. Amazon looks good. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I hope you learned some stuff. Hope I was able to give you some good information. I hope we found some good stocks as well. Make sure you guys are all following the Twitter. The recap will be posted on the Twitter and the YouTube. So make sure you're following both. And I'll sit and answer some questions while you guys follow the Twitter. Somebody said AI. Somebody said AI. And what did I tell you? I told you guys, don't look at it inside of this consolidation. Don't even look for the breakout. Because what you could do on the breakout is it could break out and then you could just catch the retest. It didn't even, it faked you out. It faked you out. And I said it was going to come back down to this trend at $26, $27. But what you're getting right now, and why I think the market is just ready for, a slight dead cat bounce, is because if you look at a lot of these stocks, they're sitting in buying areas. They're sitting in bounce areas. They're sitting in areas where they bounced before, and where it bounced at, they went up like 20%. Like, the bounce was huge. It was a huge bounce level. So I'm anticipating a bounce on AI. If not, you could just short it below $32 and short it back down to 26. But I think a bounce is coming, probably back to $39, and then let me see. Probably right here, and then back down to $32. So that's what I'll be looking at. Anyways, what is AFRM doing? Let me see. Make sure you guys are following the Twitter. AFRM, look, man, AFRM is like, some people are asleep, but AFRM's ready to go crazy. Okay, you gotta be patient on it though. This is one that's gonna follow if the market's bullish. If the market's bullish, this one's gonna end up going crazy. If the market's slightly bearish, it might not do much. But if you look at the 8-hour, it's bull diverging, and it's getting bought up at this $15. It won't even close $15. So this is telling me that there is some sort of bounce brewing for AFRM, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Like, some of these stocks, like, you'd be a fool to go short at, because, like, you missed the short opportunity. You missed it. You missed it, you missed it, you missed it. Let's look at Billy. And then that'll be the last one. Buy the dip. Do you not, like, buy the dip? If you didn't get in, back when it was at this level, I think, like July 17th, like a whole month ago, we made a whole lot of money on Billy because we got in a whole month ago and it ran all the way up to $20. And the thing about Billy is this thing goes up 5% for the day or 20% for the day, or like, this thing moves a lot, but the contracts are cheap because not a lot of people know about it. The thing about Billy this week is that it does have earnings, which is I'm skeptical about. But I know Billy's very bullish. I know China is very bullish. The only thing you got to do is make sure you're buying at good buying areas. And for me, this is where I bought last time, so I think this is another buying opportunity for you. I think it's another good buying opportunity, okay? I like it. I like it. Like, what you got to realize that these stocks are in uptrends. Like, they're not in downtrends. They're at, like, they're sitting in buying areas. They're doing what stocks do. Going up, going down, getting some people out there trying to get shorter term contracts or trying to get weeklies, or it's doing that. And that's what a market does. That's what you got to respect. So I think Billy, if you missed it, I would buy some October calls or November calls and just sit on them, because the risk to reward is there. It is 100% there. Like, how further do you think this could really drop? It went to IPO prices. It has a pin bar on this monthly, bro. Those are those are bullish indicators. Very bullish. Yeah, I like Billy. Like, look, man. It's ugly, but man, it's in a bull flag, bro. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this live stream, man. Make sure you're inside the Discord. Make sure you're following the Twitter. If you at me inside the Discord, I'll look at, you know, what you want me to look at. Okay, just at me inside the Discord. Follow the Twitter. DM me if you want me to look at anything else. Nothing has changed. Okay, you're getting these pullbacks perfect. Who cares? Who cares? Just make sure if you are in these far out contracts, like you are in these Januaries, you are in these March 2024s, Decembers, Novembers, make sure you're trading around it. If you're in these long-term positions, you should be trading around it or hedging yourself, because it makes it easier for, like, if you know the market is going to go up. If you know the market is going to go up, it'd be so much easier for you to just scalp some puts because you're already in a long-term position, okay? Anyways, don't short TDOC. No, why would you short TDOC? Anyways, Amazon looks amazing. Yes, we talked about it. Make sure you're following the Twitter. Follow the Twitter. Follow the YouTube, because the recap will be posted on there. But thank you guys all for tuning in, man. I had a great time. We talked about a whole lot. And, yeah, I appreciate you guys. Talk to you guys later. I'm out. Peace. All right, let's see what my boys is talking about on Twitch. Oh, y'all not talking about that. All right, Twitch. I'll see you guys later.